The 3Daddy podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. If you want to learn how you can support the three greasy daddies, head to patreon.com/Mavizzle. Thanks for tuning in. Greetings and salutations. It's your boy Mavizzle here with another episode of the 3Daddy podcast. Now, we got one of our daddies sitting out, and we have a special guest here tonight. So, Crawdaddy, wherever you are, I'll talk to you soon. We still love you, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we
Rest. R.I.P.
Yeah, so our special guest that we have today, I recently had him on an episode of Death Matches and Death Metal. Thank you for making it again. It is Taylor from Cult Collectibles. Now, if you don't know what Cult Collectibles is, we're going to be putting the link down in the description. It's basically a website where you can buy O.J. Simpson's cock ring. It has all the craziest shit that you didn't even know was out there and that existed. For example, and what he's mainly known for right now, and you know, he has a lot more different shit on the site, but he actually sold Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses. He had the whole Dahmer collection. It was a massive collection of shit that we didn't know even existed, and he acquired it somehow. And man, the shit that you do is just super cool, man. I'm super pumped, to have you on the show again. And yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Out here doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, doing that.
I wouldn't go that far, but
yeah, man.
Hey, man, if you think about it, really what you're doing is nothing short of what a historian would do.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
If you ask me.
Like the day-to-day stuff, a lot of it is like buying collections and selling, collectibles or novelty items or like serial killer art. But then I'm also working with like actual documentaries and publishing books and publishing documents that haven't been out there before and like preserving a lot of this shit. So it's kind of evolved into more of like a preservation effort and a archiving project than anything else.
And like we were just saying too, I mean, a lot of people are into this kind of shit nowadays. Everyone's watching some kind of true crime something at some point or another. So it's not like there isn't an audience or something or a fan base, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, a lot of that stuff
they're
too.
Out there.
Yeah,
they're
a lot of that stuff is just recycled content too. And
right.
For better or worse, like it's telling the same story again, and people are still getting that. They're learning about people. New generations are learning about people when a new show comes out. But the podcasts and movies and books and series, it's all the same stuff. And I've been putting in a real effort to find like new video and new audio, new interviews, and archived a decent amount of that. I had a documentary come out earlier this year on Dahmer that was all new content, and I think there's something a little more weight to finding new stuff as opposed to just kind of rehashing the same story for entertainment value.
Right. Where's that?
Okay, so that
is that online right now?
It's on Fox Nation, which is not in Canada, and I'm in Canada, so I had to like get a VPN to watch it, which is kind of funny. But it's called My Son Jeffrey, the Dahmer Family Tapes, and it's all, I guess, the main media they used in it. It was a bunch of audio conversations between Lionel and Jeff from prison that he would record on microcassette. So he would like interview him while he was in prison and ask him about stuff before he got killed, obviously. But yeah, that was my big project for last year. Now I'm doing nothing.
Yeah,
so cool. What I'm curious about also, now that I think about it, is so being as deep into these kinds of like historical things and preserving as much as you are, how do you feel when it comes to like, let's say like the Dahmer Netflix show or like the Bundy one? Like, what do you feel? How do you feel about like when they take like a real life event and turn it into like a Hollywood thing?
I mean, it's fine. Like morally, or just like generally for entertainment value.
Just generally, like I imagine you watched both of those.
Yeah. I keep up with a lot of stuff. And I mean, like both of those ones were kind of just retelling the same thing, right? And that's, which is
Right.
fine. Like you have examples like Monster with Charlize Theron, the Eileen Wuornos movie, right? That brought a lot of attention to that case that nobody really knew about. It was like a bit of a smaller known case before that, right? It's a great movie for entertainment value. Even Zodiac as well, the same way. Yeah, when they kind of make that leap from like an educational thing to a piece of media like that, the only kind of quarrel that I have with it whatsoever is that I'll get a lot of flack sometimes for selling this stuff or for working with these kind of things, and I don't like argue with anybody or try and convince them like I'm in the right or whatever. I just, you know, if somebody wants to think that, that's fine. Right. But nobody really talks about, you know, this guy who played Dahmer making a few $1 million off the project and that's it, and people aren't trying to rally for him to donate the money to somebody or saying he shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Sort of a weird like double-edged thing where these non-educational programs related to true crime content kind of get away with like, yeah, it's fine to do this and make money off of it, but somebody who's, you know, actively trying to find new stuff and putting the work in to get new things out there, because I sell some things, that's too far, and then, you know, that's an issue.
So it would be safe to say that there's slightly kind of a rift when it comes to like the collectible side of it as far as the Hollywood side between the
for
two.
Sure. Even people that are like interested in true crime, this is a little more a little not their thing sometimes. Like I have kind of two sections of clients. Some people who will buy like a newspaper article or a magazine or a true crime book, you know, the more of the like mainstream items, and then just people who want the actual letters, the documents, and the real, like I guess, murderabilia pieces, right?
Yeah.
There's a separation there. Or even people who are interested but don't want to own things or just curious about the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I think the lowest level in terms of like if you're going through like an iceberg of it, just in terms of not it being like the darkest or edgiest or anything, but in terms of being the most kind of obscure, you know, like for every, you know, 100 or every 1,000 people who listens to a podcast, you know, one of them knows about this stuff, and then one or the 5 of those guys collects the stuff, right? It's very niche, you know.
Yeah.
So I get, I'm not trying to really necessarily push this as a mainstream hobby. It's just yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's for specific people.
Yeah. The passion's got to be behind it for sure.
Yeah.
The passion's definitely got to be there.
And the work you put into getting shit's crazy. Like I was watching you on another podcast where this dude just casually pulled out a fucking like doll that he got from Adolfo. I can't remember the lady's name. Adolfo Constanzo's lady. And he just like pulled that. He's like, oh yeah, I've been writing her and I got this fucking
Sir Aldretti.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like you know, like some of that shit, I guess all you got to do is just write the motherfuckers. Like that, I was telling you about that book I just read, you know, it's like, you know, really doing the curation and being able to properly value that shit. And, and that's what I like about Cult Collectibles too, because everything that like going on there, you got a good, if anybody is looking to buy that kind of shit, you're going to find fair pricing. You know, you're going to find, you know, decent pricing. This guy's been selling this stuff long enough to where he's not going to, you know, charge you out the ass for something, you know, or overcharge for anything. Everything seems, you know, reasonably priced on your site. And, yeah. And you do promotions. You just did a 25% off sale and shit like that too, like for the holidays. So I think that, that's badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's with all the inventory stuff, some things I'll, you know, every once in a while I'll find a crazy piece for really cheap and I can make a big profit on it. But a majority of the stuff I'm paying a good amount, you know, based on like, let's say Richard Ramirez letter sells for $200, right? I'll buy a collection from somebody who has 20 or 30 of them and pay a bit like a lower bulk price so I can split it up, right? But with that, I'm not necessarily making a huge profit. It's just these little outliers every now and then. So it's kind of all a balancing thing. And it seems to be, I don't really look at the back end too often, you know, it's just like going well, my bills are paid. So I'm not too worried about it, but
yeah,
well,
and that's how it should be when it's like a passion, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
If you're not paying too much attention to the, you know, financial aspect, I guess, you know, it shows that you're like truly in it because it's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah, like I was doing this as a side thing for a while, and then it took over full time just because it got so busy, which was good. And it like I've been to like California twice for work stuff. I've been to Italy for work. I've done like a lot of weird stuff, and yeah, I was in Italy for a week this year, which is really fun. But I've been able to do all this other neat stuff based on it, and it's probably like 60 to 70% of my work is not things I'm being paid for. It's just like hoping something comes out of it, you know, like collaborating with people or
like networking kind of.
Yeah, like constantly networking and researching and digging through, you know, reading books and finding names and contacting people. Like a lot of dead ends, but you know, every once in a while you find one or two things, and then I'm set for a month, and I can take a couple of days to relax, you know. And I don't know, it's sort of, I don't think I could ever explain how it works fully to somebody or like hire an employee, because it's just too much in my head, you know. But
you
can't write a manual for that shit.
No, it's too.
Yeah, we're not putting an engine together.
Yeah,
you know, this isn't something they got books for.
No, exactly. It's too, you know, there's only a handful of people doing this.
I saw some crazy shit. I don't know if you know who this guy is, but he followed me after you were on the show, and his name is Prison something. Sorry, man, for forgetting your name, but I'll I gotta look this dude up again. Let me see. Prison
Store 2.0.
Yeah.
Alana. Yeah, she's a woman from the East Coast.
Dude, they got a letter written in blood for sale on there.
Yeah. Some dude. There's people. There's like different tiers of people who kind of deal in this stuff, you know, and not to like discredit anyone or put anyone below anybody else. I don't mean like this is a higher tier or lower, but I just mean like different styles. You know, there's people on Instagram who have little collections or their little like museum. They're just trying to like buy and sell to work on their collection. There's only a handful of people with like full on sites. There's a lot of different like styles of doing this, and I just got lucky falling into like having it be a site like this where I'm now like putting up books on Amazon and stuff and archiving all these things and basically having a bit of buying power, you know, because a lot of this stuff is expensive, and I'm not worried about risking like I'll spend all my savings right now in this huge collection and hope it works out, you know.
Well, you got to spend money to make money sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just trying to like, pretty much everything I've made doing this goes back into it, aside from just, you know, paying my bills and getting by, you know, so I can buy.
That's good though. That's good.
Things. Oh yeah, I can buy bigger things, and then I have, you know, tons of inventory and access to like, you know, heavier stuff as things go along.
Yeah. That's fucking badass, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've checked out the page a couple times, just perusing and seeing what's on there, and it's some pretty interesting shit, man.
Has there ever been?
I like so.
Shit I would have never thought even existed, honestly. You know?
That's how I got into it. I was like, I bet because I was really into Jonestown stuff, and I was like, I bet they have like documents and paperwork and things that people don't know about. And I started digging and finding other stuff, and then you get into like, you know, cops who've sold evidence stuff eventually, or, you know, somebody goes to a hospital and gets x-rays, and then somebody at the hospital swipes the x-rays and they go onto the market, or somebody's selling art out of prison. Like there's just so much shit being produced, you know.
Has there ever been something, and this is something I totally should have asked you on Death Matches, has there ever been anything you came across and you're like, yo, this is like too hot of an item, like I can't touch this, I'm gonna get flagged for this shit?
Well, I've had people who've had like collections where what they have, you know, is pretty obviously stolen from some kind of archive or gotten from somewhere, and I could probably, you know, I don't know the legalities of owning or selling it, you know, like as far as I would know, if I just bought something from a guy who swiped some papers from some historical archive, I could plead ignorance to not knowing that and just sell the thing and whatever, or it might not even be that big of an issue and get sold, but I'm not trying to necessarily bring that on, you know. I've had a couple of people be like, hey, I've got this thing, you know, and it's like for in my head, it's like fine for them to have it, but trying to bring it to the market might be an issue. So I wouldn't want to do that. Like that might cause some red flags or have this isn't like a really like heady profession, right? Like I've never had any real issues from it, but I wouldn't want to do anything that could sort of lean towards that, just because I gotta like make sure I can work with the website host and
reputation kind of comes
production
into
companies. Yeah, I want to like have a clean record, so to say, because I'm sure if I worked harder, I could find iffy things, but it's not worth the small financial gain for a risk,
Right. Risk and reward is something you constantly got to measure with something like that.
All the time. Yeah, for like controversy. Like my Instagram is taken down all the time and I have to make a new account, which is fine because it's their rules and their platform. But I try and keep it going as long as I can, just for the sake of
promotional purposes and whatnot.
Yeah, just not losing the momentum, right? So I try and be cautious with it and respectful with everything, and just kind of like not like an edgy brand or anything, just sort of historical preservation.
Like exactly like I said, like when I've looked at the site, it looks nothing short of historical. So and that's and especially in kind of like you said, a niche thing like that, you kind of have to maintain that to keep like the reputation going, the credibility, momentum. You can't, like you were saying, you can't ever have anything questionable, because that can come back on you. And
and questionable in
and
regards
these people,
to
a lot of these people are serious collectors, I would assume.
Oh yeah, tons.
So
yeah, that's the thing. And not only that, I'm working with production companies and TV shows and a ton of different like outlets, so to say, right? And I don't want to I get weirdly enough, I get asked the most when it comes to items being fake or authenticity, or people wanting like some certificate or whatever. I get asked the most about it by people who are spending like smaller amounts of money. So somebody, for instance, buying like a $40 letter from an inmate, right? Being like, hey, how do I know this is real? Can you make a certificate or whatever? And it's like, yeah, but if I'm going to sell a $3,000 letter from Ted Bundy, I want people to have confidence that it's real. I don't want somebody being like, oh, this guy was selling fake letters from this guy for $40. And for that matter, to fake a document, it would be more than $40 worth of time to get that done. And it's just, I don't know, the people
and not only that, at that point, when you're looking at something from a historical standpoint, especially something like this, and then you go out and like try and copy something and then just sell the copy for a cheaper price or something. Mm-hmm. I feel like that just like kind of not almost ruins the credibility of it, but it definitely makes it to where people will be more likely to question things.
Yeah. Like a lot of the reason that it's become sort of successful and I can do this full time is because I put a lot of vetting into that, and I don't have any kind of like beefs with anybody, right? I'm not like trying to call somebody out on this or have an issue with this guy or that guy. It's just like, I'm minding my own business and dealing in the stuff, and using my skill set to do this, and that's it.
On your
separate from everything else.
On your site, you have G.G. Allen's belt buckle for sale.
It's not his belt buckle. That's a belt buckle featuring him.
Oh, okay. So it's all right. He didn't. I was going to ask.
I've had some of his stuff before.
There's all like poop and piss encrusted.
That's what I was going to ask. Have you
I've
ever
had some things from him? I had some autographs and stuff, but that one specifically is just like a little pickup I had in a big collection.
That's hard. Yeah, G.G. Allen's a bad motherfucker. He used to, for people that don't know, I mean, if you watch this show, you probably know who G.G. Allen is if you know who we are. But, just like me, G.G. Allen used to shit himself all the time, and he would roll around and fucking smear his poop and shoot himself up with needles and fucking. He used to fight his audiences.
And puke and piss and shit on his audiences.
He was amazing. And when if
punk rock at its finest.
Yeah, I think. Fuck, I can't say it, but I want to say that there's a lot of GG Allen influence, with the shit that I've done in my life. But man, we got to dig into this episode.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Wait,
dude.
As far as shitting yourself?
All right, I'll tell the story about when I shit myself. All right,
okay.
Here we go. Before we dig into the hypothetical,
we're gonna hear how Mavis pooped his pants.
I want to let everybody know though, before I get into the poop story, this week on 3Daddy Podcast is hypothetical week. So all three of us have come up with a hypothetical question. We're going to go around and tackle each topic just like we do normally, but it's every question is a hypothetical fucking question. So this is our first shot doing it. We think we're going to do this once a month with a guest every month. So this is
if you guys like it.
Yeah, if you guys like it, let us know. If you don't like it, then fuck off. No, if you don't like it, tell us to fuck off, and let me know. But yeah, I was gonna say though, so I shit myself. Check this out. I'm a grown ass man. And
wait, that's the only thing that's not hypothetical, right? You actually did that?
I really did, and not today or anything. But so check this out.
Yesterday.
So people. I've heard on this other show I listen to a lot, this dude was like, yeah, you have to shit yourself one time a year. Like everybody shits themselves at least once a year. And for me, I got to say you got to multiply that by at least 3, because there's probably 3 times that I shit myself a year. And it's fucked up. They got a
word for that.
It's not incontinence. I know. It's not that it's not that my asshole is weak. It's not that has gotten weak over time.
It's just stretched out.
No. Fuck you. No. It's what it is so much back pressure gets built up like just randomly from fucked up shit that I eat that there's no avoiding it. And so I shit myself fucking the last time I shit myself, I'm driving home from work, I get off a little bit early and I'm like sick. I was 30 minutes from home. And I kind of had the feeling like I had to shit, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pull over because I work on the road. A lot of people don't know what I do. I work on the road, so I'm always driving around constantly, and I have to use public restrooms, which is very unpleasant because when you use public restrooms, especially if you're like me and you take multiple shits in a day, if you use 2 public restrooms, your asshole is going to be bleeding after wiping with that fucking John Deere toilet paper that public restrooms have. And that's
John Deere.
Yeah, so now I carry, and here's the fucked up thing too. So I carry regular toilet paper in my car, but I'm very self-conscious about it. My wife said carry a backpack, put the shit in a backpack, because then you can just bring your backpack into the bathroom. And I said, yeah, but then I look like I'm going to do fucking heroin in the bathroom if I'm bringing my backpack, or I'm stealing something.
Or steal something.
Yeah, if I'm at a store. So fucking, so check this out. So I've been in situations where there's no toilet paper, and I've had to use a sock. My wife literally told me. My wife told me, she was like, I learned this on Robin Big. She's like, just use a sock. And I was like, the fuck? And I fortunately had a backup pair of socks in my car. So I was like, all right, did it, got out or whatever. It was very bad. But so this time I'm driving home and I'm like, I don't want to go through that whole hassle.
Yo, she a real one.
It's like 12 o'clock. So there's no traffic anywhere. And I know I'm going to be going straight home. So I'm driving. I hit the fucking exit. I'm going up this fucking hill. So there's this very long road that stretches, to fucking get to my house. And it's a 2-way fucking road where it's going through mountains and, there's usually no traffic on it, like most days of the fucking week, except for early in the morning. And then, like during commute hours and then, 5 o'clock when everybody gets off. So I go and I hit this road, and this one fucking day that I hit this fucking road, they fucking happen to be doing construction. And the way that they have traffic broken up, and I don't notice it until I'm like deep into this road. Like I'm probably a quarter way through this road, dead stop. They are letting 5 cars go at a time. Fucking, and they have like a little like car with like a light on it, like, giving them safe passage across and then coming back.
Yeah, and where you're at, that's like
0.5%
of the cars.
And there's like 30 cars in front of me. So I'm sitting there for a fucking hour. Now I got to shit a little bit, turns into I really have to shit. Now on this road, there's a divider going through the middle, so I can't flip around, even though the opposite direction has no cars on it. I can't turn around. I can't pull over because there's literally mountains on both sides. So if I jump out, everyone's going to see me shit. So I'm sitting there and I'm holding it and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this sucks, dude. A customer gave me size 5 diapers because their fucking kid has outgrown diapers and is using,
Get the
pull-ups
fuck out
or
of
whatever.
here.
So this customer gave me size 5 diapers, and I'm the worst at cleaning out my vehicle. Like I'll leave shit in there. I have dog treats in there.
So your poop is still there.
Yeah, I have
shit in there. Yeah, is that
so your poop is still in there.
I have dog treats that have been there for like 3 months now from a client. So I get these diapers and I go fuck. I reach in the back and I'm like, I'm gonna start stuffing fucking diapers in my fucking pants right now because it's gonna absorb this shit somehow, right? So I open up like a handful of diapers, I shove them in my pants. The lady behind me, they're in a raised van and they can look in and they see me. She pulls out her phone and starts recording. So I feel like somewhere on the internet or on someone's Facebook, they're seeing a grown man. Like, it looks like I'm just
with your hand half down your pants.
It literally looks, well, I mean, the way I think, exactly. Like the way that I think, it probably looked like I just couldn't fucking resist.
From the front with a diaper?
No, it looked like she probably couldn't see the diapers, but she just saw me just jamming my hand up my ass. Like I couldn't resist. You know what I mean? Like that vision was probably so weird for that person sitting in that van behind me. What is this guy? This dude just starts viciously fingering his butthole like in traffic, and I'm panicked. I'm turning. I'm flushed red. I'm sweating. Because I'm just like, I can't. There's no way. I'm gonna make it fucking home. So I shove all these diapers in my fucking pants, and dude, I'm like, I don't want to shit. Like I'm thinking,
I'm so
like,
sorry for my friend.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I don't want to shit, but I can't. Like, I couldn't hold it anymore, and then all of a sudden I just shit my pants, dude. And fucking the diapers didn't even help.
I forgot that was the ending.
No. So it just starts going. The diapers like kept the poo in my pants, but I'm sitting there like cuz I don't want to sit in it, you know what I mean? So I'm like squatting, like hovering above my car seat while trying to drive back. Literally, I shit myself right as that little car starts taking me down the fucking road. So I'm like, dude. So I fucking get home. It takes me 10 minutes to get home from the point that I'm at, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? Like my body couldn't just hold it for like 10 more minutes. I was so pissed off, dude. Getting out of my car was so embarrassing. Like I was like, I hope my neighbors don't see me. I was like holding my pants up, like trying to keep them from like leaking. And I go into my house and I run to the bathroom and fucking, when I threw my pants off or whatever, no. This was, dude. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. I think this is what got my leg infected from that tattoo because here's how bad it was, bro. So I'm trying to take my pants off without like anything touching my I had a fresh tattoo, like a big ass black tattoo on my leg.
You got poop in it.
And I didn't want anything to touch my leg, right? So I'm trying to be careful.
Poop got in it.
And my underwear was like fully stretched out as I'm taking my pants off. And it flicked, and it fucking shot shit right up into my face, bro. And
dude,
dude. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just like,
God,
not only that,
dude.
the tile in the bathroom is fucking stained. I'm covered in shit. Fucking, I feel like I was really good about it not touching my leg, but it might have touched my leg.
Yeah, but it touched your face.
Yeah, it touched my face.
That's even worse.
Dude, it was terrible. And I had my face like this, though. Here's the worst part. I was like this, like, right? I felt something hit like my lip, like the top of my lip.
Leave.
So I'm in there.
Leave.
Fucking, dude.
Leave now.
Dude. I cleaned. I threw away my pants. I threw away my underwear. I fucking bird bathed the best that I could. I ran upstairs. My wife's like, what the fuck are you doing? You came home, didn't say hi to me? I'm like, there's shit everywhere. I jumped in the fucking shower. I take a shower, and then I come back down, and then I clean the bathroom. I sanitize the bathroom because I feel like such a piece of shit. Listerine like 10 fucking times when I'm in the bathroom, you know, because I'm like, I feel like nothing got in my mouth.
Everything smells like shit.
Yeah, no, it didn't smell like it, but it just like, it touched
like
where it shouldn't go. Like, I'm not a John McAfee with the hammock. Like, I don't like shit on my face. And fucking, I was all fucked up, dude. So, yeah, so that happened. And then fucking, that's the story of when I shit myself. And then there was another time I texted you guys about this because this happened in a short period of time. Fucking, so there's one time I literally went to Starbucks. I go to the bathroom because Starbucks always has a clean bathroom. If there's ever a Starbucks in a decent neighborhood, because some of them will close it, but
there's never a Starbucks in a shitty neighborhood.
Or they'll put a coat. No, there are out here. Out here there are.
Oh, but, yeah. Maybe,
but check this out. So fucking, I go to Starbucks, right? And I go to the bathroom. Everything's good. I get on the phone. I'm talking to our boy Seed Murda. And I'm having a conversation with him, and our conversation just starts getting hella short. He's like telling me about all this like shit. We're having like a deep ass conversation about music or whatever the fuck. And then I'm just like, yeah, okay, man, that's cool. Cause I'm like, fuck, I got a shit hella bad. And I'm like trying to drive.
You're literally crowning.
I'm stuck at a red light with Seed Murda on the fucking, you know, on the like car talking to me. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I'm doing this right now. And I'm just like, yeah. Oh, really? And I just needed to. I shit myself again in the car. I go into the Starbucks bathroom.
Dude.
This time it didn't make it out of my underwear. So I just fucking threw my underwear away in the Starbucks bathroom. I feel so bad for whoever had to clean that.
Okay, let me tell you something, though. If it's happened more than once, the word is valid.
Incontinence?
Yes, bro.
No, incontinence.
Dude, I just hung out with my 92-year-old grandmother today. Incontinence is a real thing.
Yeah, but no, it's not like, oh, there happens to be shit in my pants. No, it's literally like, it takes me 40 minutes to get to the point where I shit myself.
Logistically,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, see?
I just
you gotta prepare for that, bro.
My wife said to buy a portable toilet, and I'm like, I'm not gonna shit in my vehicle.
Here's what
you already did.
Yeah, you already did it twice.
You did it twice.
I mean, I'm not gonna like.
Did you not tell her? Did you not tell her what happened?
Fuck you.
Here's what you do, okay? You be smart about it. You grab one of these bad boys. I won't show you the mouth of it because the label's on top, but you shove one of those in there and you just spray into it.
My asshole would not fit in that.
It'll fit around it.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It'll
think
fit around it.
That shit's just gonna spray everywhere. I can't even take a piss.
You gotta control
in
it,
a bottle.
bro. You gotta control it.
No,
it's
I
called
hate it.
Incontinence, not outcontinence.
No, dude, I haven't had this. So what I have done in what I have done to combat this is I just don't eat crazy fucked up shit like I did like at those times.
Probably
like,
the easiest
like
route.
Cheese. I don't fuck around with mac and cheese anymore. I don't fuck around with.
Wait. Pause. You got a problem with mac and cheese in your bowels, bro?
I'm talking about.
I would think that would stop everything.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about mac and cheese like fucking. Like Kraft mac and cheese. That's fine on my stomach.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Real mac and cheese.
I'm talking about real mac and cheese. That shit, like Costco mac and cheese, bro. If you want me to clear a room, like just give me a fucking 1 cup serving of Costco mac and cheese, and I am gonna be violently farting fucking all
front of the line.
night. You're going to hate me. It's just
Let's go to Costco. I want to be in the front of the line.
No, it's going to make everybody
Get me to the front of the line.
hate me. I can't. I learned that on Thanksgiving. I used to be able to eat that shit. And then one day my body's like, dairy, no. Like, you can't do this anymore. Like, we give up. We quit.
We quit.
My stomach quit.
We're out of here.
The body said
you.
We're done.
Fuck you. You're cool.
So... All right, so that's my shit story. But I want to get into this hypothetical shit. So
let's get into some topics.
Yeah, fucking. So my topic for this week, I want to start with my topic, and then we'll work our way counterclockwise, as always. Okay, so I want you to read the ad like your dog died. Okay? You can do it?
Like I'm sad?
Like you're sad as fuck. Like, read it like your dog just fucking died.
Okay.
Dude, you can't smile. You can't laugh. Why are you laughing? You're a sick fuck.
So hard.
All right, read it like your dog died.
Hey, you. Listening to the 3Daddy podcast right now. Listening to us talk right now. Do you like heavy metal, punk rock, or just any type of music in general? Well, if you do, my fucking dog just died. I'm sorry, that's all I could think in my head. Oh my god.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. The ad read isn't done yet, motherfucker. Keep reading it.
Well, if you do,
keep reading the fucking ad.
www.nightshiftmerch.com. That's www.nightshiftmerch.com. The exclusive merch store distro for the Black Dahlia murder, Cradle of Filth, Napalm Death, Suffocation, Cro-Mags, Revocation, Chemists, and more. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, shorts, sweats, music, you
like
name
your dog
it.
Died. Like your dog died. Keep reading it like your dog died.
At night, www.nightshiftmerch.com. You can even find T-shirts of Mavis naked. That's right.
So you're not sad enough. You're not sad enough.
Mavis naked. As well as all the other great shirts from Fluids. So what are you waiting for? My dog just fucking died. Go look, see my boy Mavizzle. Hang dong at www.nightshiftmerch.com.
I wasn't sad enough. That was fucking garbage, dude.
Yeah, that was horrible.
All right, so my topic is, if you had to eat one person on this earth to survive, who would it be? Yeah, it could be anybody on this earth, but you have to eat a person. You have to eat somebody. Who is it gonna be?
That's easy for me. I had to figure it out in a second.
You go first, Taylor.
And I'll give you the whole. I thought about it for a bit once I figured out the name, but I think it's fairly obvious. Let's say I'm assuming it's a survival scenario, right? Not like, oh, this is a fun thing to do. So for a survival scenario, you want somebody who's healthy and like large, and also something I think people don't think about is that you could theoretically keep somebody alive, but eat parts of them, like remove an arm or a leg at a time, keep them alive so they're, the meat's not getting fucking freezer burnt or destroyed, or for that matter, if you don't have any way to freeze it, right? So you have no power or anything. So I'm picking Dwayne The Rock Johnson because he's huge. He's like a fairly healthy guy, at least from what the public has known about his diet. He's, resilient. If he loses an arm, he's going to be okay,
he'll be fine.
Obviously hypothetical, right? But like in like the road scenario, you could remove an arm. You still got him around.
There's enough to go around too. Like
he's a big dude. He's it's muscle. It's not like fat. Like I think you'd want to mix of both. But in terms of like sustaining yourself for the longest, I think that would be one of the more optimal people to do it with. He's all around seems healthy enough and large enough to be, if you're looking at it from a perspective of like pure survival, I think that's an easy choice.
Yeah, you would definitely have almost like a whole grocery store right there. If you're, let's just say like trapped desert island,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You got a whole grocery store of protein right there. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
that's if you're trying to still make gains in the post-apocalypse or whatever, that's going to help.
Yeah. See, I can definitely agree with that. I won't say mine just yet because I want to get more into the Dwayne talk.
I think that it would be difficult if you're trying to eat an alive Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Well,
Like,
that's the
most certainly be
one
difficult.
thing that I didn't account for is the fact that he's huge and healthy, and I'd have to, somehow figure that out.
But see, here's the thing. Would it ever just be you and the Rock? Or is it you and like, did a plane crash? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got a plane crash or something and you got like 3 or 4 other survivors, I like to think that 3 or 4, maybe 5 people can take down the Rock and at least take off an arm and eat.
I don't
tonight.
think so. I think more
well,
like
and I think
5 to 7.
I think he, in that scenario, he just seems like a nice enough guy that he would be like, yeah, you guys, this is gonna save you. You guys can all eat me.
Agree with that.
He's just like a nice enough dude that, like,
You're welcome.
would be amazing to press for.
The Rock
You're
is
welcome.
just like, go ahead and have a slice of this rock meat.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you smell that
Can
the
you smell
Rock
what
is
the Rock's
cooking?
cooking? Yeah. Can you smell when the Rock is cooking?
Yeah, right. Am I done yet? He's all trying to eat himself.
He's
He's like, this is actually a really good idea.
he's like, drink. You got to drink Zoa when you eat the Rock. That's like his energy drink he's pushing right now. You gotta you have to.
See, okay.
You can eat me, guys, as long as you drink Zoa.
I had the same idea, right? But my choice was Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You got to think about the chemical compound, because I don't think he's a natural guy, right? And I think there's a lot of, at least at some point, I think there's been a lot of damage to his body via chemicals, right?
Right.
That was my first thought, actually,
because he's got some size on the Rock.
You guys both
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
That was the first one I thought. Yeah,
He's got some size on the Rock. He really does.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
way
for sure.
taller.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he'd probably be less of a healthy, at least from what the public sees of the Rock's fitness and health and stuff.
Right.
At this
right.
moment
But
in time.
The other thing I think of too is like, what if you eat Brock Lesnar, right? And you get Brock Lesnar's powers,
Yeah, but he has, what's it called? Doesn't he have like that that really bad stomach disease? He has like diverticulitis and that shit that it gives you insane stomach pain. Like it's the reason.
No, he poop in your car.
He had
poop in your car.
Here's the thing, dude. If you're trying to eat some intestines, you're missing out, because he had like 3/4 of his intestines removed.
Mm-hmm.
That's eating intestines. That's so gross. I wouldn't eat that part.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to at a certain point, though.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a choice. Like you say, you couldn't do it, but at a certain point, you wouldn't have any other option, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna run out of food eventually.
Fuck, what's that? Crohn's. He has Crohn's, is what it's called.
Crohn's disease.
Yeah, Crohn's.
Brock Lesnar does?
Yeah, dude. That's why they found out.
Wait. What does Crohn's disease do?
It makes
you get ulcers in your intestines.
Okay.
But you can't absorb nutrition. You get like really sick. It's hard to like sustain yourself on food, basically.
Okay.
You sit on the toilet for hours on end,
Yeah.
and it feels like knives are coming out of your asshole.
Oh, what the fuck?
Kind of like my life.
Honestly, Brock Lesnar sounds like the meatier option, I guess, kind of, because of the size. But if we're really coming down to it, I'll probably take a slab of Rock.
Yeah, it's lab grown versus free range,
Yeah. Exactly. I like the way this guy thinks. I'm glad you're here. I probably would have starved. No.
I mean, if you're talking, and this wasn't my pick, but like, if you're talking about somebody who is like, I would say Joe Rogan. Like, if you're looking for somebody that's gonna benefit you the most, because Joe Rogan's pretty swole, and he's done a bunch of stem cells, so like he's gonna regenerate.
That's beneficial.
Like, and it's probably good to eat the stem cells too.
Like you just became Wolverine.
Yeah, like
you just became Wolverine without the adamantium skeleton.
He could be self-sustaining if he has enough stem cells in him. Like, you just eat his bicep and that shit might grow back. You just give it a little time. No, but I mean, this is given that they're alive. You know, like that was my thing. I don't know if it's a survival situation and you're eating somebody, it's
I would
usually
imagine
because
they'd be
they're
dead.
yeah, they're already dead, you know. And I'm not saying I'd whack somebody to get to the meat.
We're talking like there is nothing to eat.
I'm talking they
that's
starved
the
out.
bottom line.
They starved
that is
out
the bottom line.
and
There's
they're
no
dead.
food.
And now it's time to eat them, you know.
Yeah, it's
and,
like you crash into the Andes and you're gonna want to be on the fucking WrestleMania lineup plane, you know, because you're gonna have choice
Get the
cuts.
fuck out of here.
just like fucking just a bunch of
You're
swole motherfuckers.
welcome.
Like half of the people I interviewed when I was doing the death matches portion of death matches and death metal, just a bunch of swole motherfuckers. Oh shit. Yeah. You know what's fucked up? So I'm not gonna lie. I think my choice, and I did not think this one through. I was thinking Kim Kardashian. Like I'd fucking, you know, she got that giant, like unrealistic, like ass
I'm not
and
gonna
everything.
eat her.
But I mean, it's probably like eating a whale, you know, like because
I'll eat her after whatever else happens.
isn't whale
No.
meat like
I'm just
isn't whale
playing.
meat like super fatty and like
Blubber, yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
mostly, like,
blubber,
fat.
blubber.
yeah, like
well,
you could
and
probably
you also don't know how much of that is actually 100% real. Like you might not.
Yeah,
you
that's the
you
thing,
might
too.
think what you're looking at is meat, but it's not 100% meat. And that's what you're looking for at that point.
I
know?
did think about that after, like how much of that is going to be silicone or some sort of, you know, strange fucking like chemical shit, you know, that I'm going to consume.
Yeah.
But I'd take I'd take that
point,
chance.
if you're eating a person, you're looking at self-preservation.
Exactly. And I mean, I'd probably eat Kim Kardashian.
Do a lot of things to her.
She's not with Kanye anymore, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
R.I.P.
He'd probably be happy.
Easy.
No, he
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be happy. I don't know if he'd be happy about that. That'd
Who
be
knows?
weird.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't want to invite that entity into this.
When this podcast blows up, fucking, I'm gonna get some angry tweets from Kanye when someone resurfaces this shit, like one of his stands, and be like, he said he was gonna eat your wife's ass to survive.
He probably, I don't know. I like to think Kanye would be like, I would too.
Yep, exactly. Hey,
That's probably what he'd say.
You gotta be realistic, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's be realistic here.
That's ass for days.
That's meaty.
Yeah.
If it's real.
Name a bigger ass.
Off the top of my head, I can't.
Exactly.
Dang. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm thinking of that one picture too that got posted years ago, where it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
The champagne.
Yep.
The champagne.
Champagne photo.
That's classic, you know. But yeah, fuck, man. Fuck. Speaking of plastic surgery and shit like that, you guys seen Madonna lately?
Oh yeah.
Man, she looks.
I have not.
She doesn't look too bad for her age, but she is at that like Michael Jackson like stage of like plastic surgeries, you know.
Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah, here I'll pull up a picture of Madonna 2023. Let's see.
You know, wait a second.
Look right here. Here you go.
That's from now.
That's now, yeah. She's at that like Michael Jackson kind of like Uncanny Valley like stage.
You know, I don't want to sound like I'm throwing any shade or anything, but she looked better before.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. I mean, you know, but
yeah.
she does. I mean, for her age, how old is she?
But she do. I don't know.
Late 60s, I think.
Probably, yeah. By now, but
yeah.
she definitely got that.
Not bad for 65. She's 65.
Yeah, 65.
You know, if a 65-year-old woman came up to me like that, I'd be like, all right. If I was fucked up or something, you know, at a bar or whatever. If I was at a bar or something, you know, that's.
I think it's a bummer when people are delusional about that stuff, and they're like, oh, I think I look like this, but I think that most of people being like, oh, he looks wild is like, they're, maybe she wants to look exactly like that, and good for her, right? I think the biggest thing is people being like, oh, it's just weird.
Good.
Yeah, good for you, right? If you don't mind.
Oh, but, more power to her.
100%.
Yeah, it's definitely like
and I had this conversation earlier today, actually. Like, you only live one time. If you're not doing what you want to do,
yeah, exactly. Do whatever you want.
Then what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, I think most people who like look weird now get hate because it's like the people criticizing them kind of saying, "Oh, this isn't what I think they should look like." You can do what you want to, but she does look weird, that's for sure, and different. It's just like
it don't make you. It don't.
Yeah,
dude. Normal is relative.
No, you know who looks fucking weird? Fucking Elon Musk. That motherfucker looks like he's wearing a skin suit of his own face.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know, like when he talks.
We on EM time now.
He talks like this when he talks about things, and like it's. Someone commented. They said it's all the ketamine that he's done. I'm like, I don't know. If
he used to look a lot different too.
Yeah, he used to look like
bald.
Yeah. Money buys everything.
Yeah,
it buys hair.
Ask Magic Johnson.
Yeah, fuck. Who are we talking about? I don't
even know at this point.
Didn't we bring that shit up? No, we brought that shit up.
Did bring it up
the other day about Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, money cures everything. And I will say this: I'm a big South Park fan because of this. They're very real about everything. They're very blatant, you know. And I know it's kind of random that I bring it up, but they're very blatant about everything. So when there was that one episode where they're like, Magic Johnson was curing AIDS with money, and it's like,
a literal translation, yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what it.
Yeah, he's like happening. Sleeping on a bed of money and shit, and they're like,
and he's
how did you beat it? And he was like, he's like, I don't know. He's just surrounded with fucking money. They're injecting money and shit like into people.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously that's a little outlandish, but at the end
I'd
of
do
the day,
it.
let's be
If
real.
I was that fucking rich and bored, dude, I'd fucking shoot money in my fucking Johnson.
Yeah.
I'd do that shit all fucking day, 3 times a fucking day.
I want one of them $100 dicks.
$100?
That's your fucking pinnacle of wealth is $100.
I mean, if your dick is $100 bill.
I mean, if
you shoot $100 bill into your dick, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and you could just roll it up and cram it in there, I guess, if you want to do that. It's possible to do.
There's probably someone that has done that, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably.
There's somebody out there just doing it every day.
Somebody out there, yeah.
I said that on
just
the Mavizzle album.
Rain.
I said I put things inside my pee hole because I get a rush. I just like.
You ever seen that? You ever seen Kids in the Sandbox?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
Classic. I knew you would say yes. That shit was hardcore. That man. Definitely rocked 17-year-old Dirt Riff's brain. I was like, whoa, is this real life? That was around the time though with like 2 Girls 1 Cup and shit, you know.
Yeah, the golden days of the internet.
The golden age of the internet.
That was when Rotten.com was the thing, man. The internet used to be fucking great. I mean, it still is now.
That's what it was for. Yeah, but it was used for what it was for.
Yeah, it was like you literally just go on there and look at fucking fucked up shit. It was like a contest on who can find the more fucked up shit. And nowadays, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I mean, there was a lot of edgelord shit back in the day on the internet, but like I feel like now it's the edgelord shit's just kind of overboard. Like the shit that these kids laugh about nowadays, I'm like, man, maybe it's just me getting brutal, older. Yeah. But yeah, my nephew was telling me, what did he say? He was talking about. I was like, oh man, I love Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's cute, and then he started sending me a bunch of memes of them of like Baby Yoda getting killed, and I'm like, that's not funny. I'm like, that's upsetting. Like, I love Baby Yoda. The fuck? You don't fuck with Baby Yoda, man. Like,
his name's Grogu.
Yeah, No, he's Baby Yoda. I'm in the Baby Yoda camp,
Grogu.
dude. It's Baby Yoda.
His name's Grogu.
I'll do this shit all day. We can go
You know
back
what's
and
funny?
forth. Huh.
You know what's funny is my son looks exactly like him. I'm not even gonna front. He looks exactly like him. Like
Yeah.
big ears, big eyes,
You
tiny
give him a
nose.
little. Do you give him a little bowl of soup and say,
So you know
"Here"?
what's funny is when Mandalorian originally came out, they had those. You remember those little towels for kids with the hood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a Grogu one, and I bought one.
Sorry, keep going.
It's got the giant ears that come out of the side, and he still wears it to this day.
There's a fucking Baby Yoda on the shelf over here.
Dude.
Togs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Is on a shelf behind me, but I don't know anything about the fucking. It is cute.
Oh,
It's
Baby
not
Yoda's
shit.
It is.
amazing, dude.
It is very cute.
Yeah.
So, are you not a Star Wars guy?
Oh, I'm Star Trek, 100%.
Okay, I
No,
never
Star
got into
Trek.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like Star Wars is fine. I watched I've seen the first like 6 movies. I
Right.
just never like click with it. I was never like, oh, this is great, and all the continued stuff is just like, it's fine. Even with Star Trek, like I only like Next Generation, that series and the 4 movies. But yeah, it just like it's more like Star Trek's more actiony in my head, and Next Gen is Star Wars. Star Trek is more political and conversations and like
I
I
can see that. Yeah.
I feel like the best way to explain it for uninitiated is like Star Trek is like DC Comics and Star Wars is like Marvel Comics. You know, because like DC's like,
I could see that.
yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
could totally see that. Yeah. Because
Like,
DC Comics was, I mean, I'm a comic book nerd. DC Comics stands for Detective Comics.
Yeah, it's like a lot more introspective. It's a lot more like, yeah, like Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek, and it's just a funny ass concept because it's like all these other like series are about like exploration and like doing them going different places and like the relationships of the people with each other, but like Deep Space Nine is just like an outpost in the middle of fucking nowhere, so they're not going anywhere. But like this dude comes in, he's like the new guy that's in charge of shit, and then he just has to unfuck everything that's going on because everything's super fucked here. And then every week some crazy shit is happening to the station. And
yeah, it's the Cheers of Star Trek franchises.
Yeah, I love.
I'm gonna have to. The only Star Trek I ever really watched was the actual like Hollywood movies, the new ones.
Oh, with
So-
what's his name? With the fucking that
Pine.
handsome guy, Chris Pine.
The dude that actually kind of looks like
I'd take a bite out of him any
Shatner.
day.
he looks like a young Shatner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've only ever seen those, and they were great. They were actually really great movies. But I don't know much about like Star Trek lore as far as that goes. So, I feel like I can't make an educated Star Trek decision.
You're
You know what I
talking
mean?
about a show you can fall asleep to with the TV on. That's
yeah.
your shit right there.
Perfect.
Your Seinfeld.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just started watching it again, and it's 179 hour-long episodes, and then 4 movies. Like it's so much content too.
Isn't it on
So
Paramount?
it's definitely something
On
you can
Paramount
just,
and Netflix.
you can start it from the beginning and be just fine.
Next Gen?
I mean, as far as Star Trek goes in general, like
Oh,
where would somebody start?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Like
pick
each
your
series
poison.
stands alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
each one stands alone as their own thing.
Okay, so it's not like Star Wars where you kind of have to know the whole story.
Nope.
No, not at all.
You'll learn the
Okay.
lore. You get all you do is you just get deeper in the fucking lore as you go.
Yeah,
and then
Okay.
it's just like contextual absorption of stuff. There's a lot to it.
Okay, I'm gonna check that shit out because if you say it's on Netflix, I got Netflix right
It's on
now.
Netflix,
so-
yeah. It's, at least in Canada. Canada's a bit different for streaming.
Truth. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because I've always been a pro Star Wars guy. I always stood by all 3 trilogies because they all had their goods and bads, each one.
Yeah.
Especially that last trilogy. The last trilogy was kind of but you know, it's just what I grew up with. I remember watching Star Wars in the movie theater. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a nostalgic attachment, I guess.
I gotta say though, like I like the series that they did more. Like Mandalorian is a good series, just
And
because
Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of the best Star Wars series, I think.
I didn't give a fuck about Mandalorian when it came out, but I had Disney Plus and it was like one of the first shows. I'm like, all right, I'll watch this shit. So I put it
that
on
was
and
their big thing.
the whole first episode, it's like, okay, this guy's like John Wick. He's like a John Wick character in this universe, right? And then it's kind of like, okay, but then out of nowhere he finds this fucking he's supposed to he gets this target. He's supposed to kill this target. And they're like, yeah, this target's 100 years old, you got to kill them or whatever. And he goes there and he fucking kills all these motherfuckers, and then he opens the thing up and it's Baby
And
Yoda.
it's a baby
in a pod, and he's like, what, this can't be right, like I'm not gonna kill this fucking baby. So he he takes Baby Yoda, and the next thing you know, they're inseparable, and Baby Yoda's 100 years old, but he acts like a baby.
But he's basically his child,
because they age super slow. So like yeah, so fucking the whole fucking series is just like, you know, this Mandalorian dude who's part of this like cult of fucking like these people that never take their helmet off ever, and they're all brainwashed like completely by this shit.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Mandalorian, Taylor?
No, I haven't
Dude,
seen. The only Star Wars series I watched was the original Clone Wars animated series by the Samurai Jack guy.
So
yeah, that was a good show too.
You saw the good
stuff. Great.
Badass.
But that's like a 2-hour series. So,
but The Mandalorian was basically, and this kind of circles back around to True Cult Collectibles. The Mandalorian was basically a cult.
He wasn't a death cult though.
It wasn't a death cult.
He was just.
It was kind of like it was just a cult.
He kind of like realizes it halfway through too when he finds some other Mandalorians, and they're just like, "What? You're one of those weirdos that doesn't take their helmet off.
Doesn't take your helmet off."
Yeah, that's what they say to him, and he's like, "What?" And like it totally just trips him out.
You can still be a Mandalorian and take your helmet off, and they all take their helmets off and shit. And he's like,
and they go, "This is the way." This is like that's what he says. His people. Well, and here's the cool thing too, though. So every episode has a different director, and they absorb different tropes. So like one episode is 7 Samurai, and like that's the fucking concept of like, okay, you know, they have to protect these fucking people that are just living in the middle of nowhere. But speaking of cults, though, let's transition into our next fucking hypothetical. So you had a pretty good hypothetical.
Yeah, this is the one I'm curious about.
I think so. Well, let me deep dive into the question a bit when I
definitely
say it, because it just to give like backstory on each thing. So mine was, if you were going to go out with any doomsday cult, which one would it be? And my thought process was, you're taking into account the means of death as well as like the public image, you know, like what people are going to think, and are you like standing up for some lunatic, or are you doing like something like liberating for yourself or whatever? They don't have every group out there obviously on the list of like my examples, but for some variety, I've got the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas, during the siege. So either that's kind of a toss-up, right? You're either getting ran over by a tank or shot by the FBI, or getting burnt down militants in the compound. Yeah, there's like 3 different ways people died there, right? Yeah. Jonestown is you're drinking cyanide, like basically drinking poison, which was apparently, like, I would assume, very painful. You're also in the middle of the jungle in Guyana. Heaven's Gate, who had the obviously ritual suicide at the bunk beds where they all wore the matching uniforms. They drank phenobarbital with vodka and applesauce, and basically like laid in bed and just like died peacefully, from what it seems. But then I've been like known forever as like crazy like space conspiracy theorists, right? Because of all the performance and like shows they put on for it. Yeah. And the last 2 that I have for like a little more obscure are the Order of the Solar Temple, who are like a weird French cult and had to do with like secret societies and stuff. And their mass suicide was like this really crazy ritual in the woods where everyone burnt themselves alive, and they had all these elaborate robes. And Aum Shinrikyo, the Japanese doomsday cult, who were trying to start World War III with
Dude.
the Tokyo sarin gas attack. Like their attack on the subway was trying to let's start World War III. We're gonna be the only ones that survive this. And obviously they didn't kill as many people as they wanted, and a bunch of guys got arrested. So basically, the means of death there would be that you were one of those domestic terrorists and then got sent to prison for however fucking long and executed by hanging.
Oh, that's rough.
Way later down the road, yeah. That's kind of the drawn out one, but
that's a rough one.
So
yeah.
Speaking of them, I want to bring up when I heard of them for the first time, I was looking up I was on Wikipedia and I was looking up people in Japan that have been killed by capital punishment. And it's a very short list. Like Japan doesn't use capital punishment very frequently, and a few of the members were on that list. So that was kind of like, oh fuck. So I mean, you can.
Okay, so wait, capital punishment. That's as far as like death sentences and shit.
Yeah, death sentence basically.
Yeah.
And the people, I mean, they do. You go on that list to see the most heinous shit that has happened. I was doing some research for a different project, and I would never recommend going on Wikipedia and looking up people that have died from capital punishment with a weak stomach, or you're gonna feel it's gonna make your day shitty. Basically, reading some of those stories,
you're gonna be a different person coming out of that.
Your butthole's gonna be real loose. Your mental pineal gland butthole is gonna be very loose after reading that. But I would say, here's what I would say. If I were to go out with one of these fucking cults, man, I'd probably, and I thought about this a bit. Even if they thought I was kooky, probably the Davidians. I mean, they went out the easiest way. They fucking had sick ass shoes. We were talking about it earlier. The Decades.
Heaven's Gate, you mean?
Or Heaven's Gate. Yeah. Oh wait, no. The Davidians were Waco, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I get the names mixed up.
See that? I can totally agree with that. Only in the sense that one side fought till the very end. Right?
I would not want to go out with that, because if I said I wanted to go out with that, I might be put on a list. You know how many conspiracies there are out there now saying that the FBI shot first and fucking that they weren't doing anything wrong?
What I'm saying is, think about it. If you truly, truly believed in what they were preaching to you, then you would have no problem going out that way. Fighting.
That's true, but Heaven's Gate also, the reason they all did that was because they all believed there's a UFO passing above us right now. If we kill ourselves, we'll go on it. And they were like, cool. Let's lie down and go to sleep. And it was exactly the same kind of like dedication.
That's the other thing. Yeah. See, for me, the other side of it is they at least got to go out the same way, but peaceful.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you truly believe in something, there's really no need to pressure violence.
Making this decision, though, you're making it from the outside looking in. You're not indoctrinated in this cult. You're choosing who am I going to go out with, And it's like, I know most of these motherfuckers are wrong, but who knows? What if they really did go on that they did get picked up by that spaceship and we're all fucked?
We don't know.
Well, there's also a lot of stuff out there, like a lot of the families, not all of the families, but some of the families said, like, we were sad this happened, but this is what so and so believed in, their family member who was in the suicides, and it's like, I hope that was what they would have wanted and that was their final wish. Obviously, like, I think the impact on society and stuff, aside from like getting kind of becoming like this like goofy pop culture reference a lot of the time, is that it was a little less impactful on other people than something like Jonestown, where it's like, oh, your daughter went to Guyana and then her and her husband and their kid are both all dead now because of this thing.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. And they get you, man. Like they would get people. They think they're doing something right. I mean, Jonestown shit, like that shit was like going on during the same time where it wasn't a strange thing for people to say, hey, you know what, let's go live off the land and do our own fucking thing in a commune and shit. Like, there were communes that were just normal at that time. That was like during the hippie movement and shit. So like everybody.
Well, even now, man. Even now, I mean, if someone were to come tell me, like, all you got to do is carry your weight and come live at this place.
Dirt Riffs, don't do that, man. You're gonna get looped into a cult so fucking quick doing some shit like that.
Is that really so wrong if you're alive? And
that's like a very common way of like cults recruiting nowadays, man. They're like, hey, come and live on the farm, you know, fucking, you just got to wear this fucking.
But does that really sound so wrong as long as you don't die?
What if you do? What if they fucking tell you? What if you are so wrapped up into the shit that they convince you, hey, you know what, fucking eat the applesauce, man.
See, that's where it comes down to, like, hopefully I'm coherent and still cognitive enough to not do that.
But the way that they do this to you is they take you in, they show you love.
But I guess
they tire you out. They tire you
right.
out. Because I went to
You're
Bible, or I didn't go to Bible church when I was a kid. No, not Bible church. I went to church, Bible camp.
Bible church.
And the other kids told me,
church.
the other kids told me, Jesus camp. God damn it. Stop it. You just got indoctrinated this week, so I forgot to mention this too. Dirt Riffs is actually a born again Christian as of the other day. Yeah, he came to Jesus on the phone.
He
with
said
me.
he was going to convince me. He kind of convinced.
Yeah, I sold him on Jesus. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, but I'm still out here, you know, drinking, smoking.
And now I'm gonna send you some applesauce. Did you drink that Underberg that I sent you?
I did not. It's in my fridge right now. I'm waiting for it to get cold.
Yeah. Drink that Underberg.
It's still wrapped, so I know it's safe.
Oh, it still has the. It's still not circumcised.
Oh yeah, the paper's still on. It's good. It's good.
That's what Jan said. He's like, did you?
I was so happy to see that. By the way, thank you again. Thank you. I love you for that. But I was so glad to see those in there.
When I went to for sure. When I went to this like men's retreat for a church, one of the things they did was super tire us out. Like fucking they got us there. They made us do a bunch of shit. We did all and then tire us out, have us up till like midnight. Oh, and then we go out, run through the woods with fucking flashlights. Then you got to wake up the next day at fucking 5 a.m., eat breakfast, and go straight to Bible study. So you are exhausted, and they beat you down, shove shit down your throat, and then tell you as soon as you get back, you need to tell everybody about this. That's what they did to us. And
when you were a kid?
When I was I was like 15, so I was in high school, you know. And check this out though. So my friends that went to the Jesus camp, because the church had like an actual camp where it was a whole week of the shit, my boy was like, yeah, dude, they would do that to you until you cry. Like they would like break you down and then say the only thing that is going to help you is Jesus.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, they literally did. It was almost like cult like shit.
So let me tell you something. I lived in relatively kind of close to the same area you're in.
Yeah. When
I was a child. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade. So there was like a church on campus, a school priest and shit who ended up doing some weird everybody. Shit.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Big surprise.
Yeah, big surprise. It is very much like that, though.
Hey, you know what, man? Like go ahead.
Okay, so
tell us,
Dirt
Riffs, how they touched your butthole.
They didn't touch my butthole. Nobody touched my butthole except for me when I was wiping it. But, anyways.
Why are you touching you shouldn't only the toilet paper? You did that shit where you got a sock and you put a hole in it because the sock was too rough.
Full circle. Full circle.
That's what you fucking did. You full motherfucker, circle. You're fucking.
Anyways.
Who needs a bidet? I got my hand.
I will say this.
Just clean under the nail real good.
When it comes to, and this might be kind of a hot take, when it comes to education, religion shouldn't be a class unless it's something you yourself are interested in. I'm a parent now. So like, for example, if my son was in the school that I was in and he was like, hey, here's this paper. They want to teach me about religion. I'd be like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
And he'd tell me how he feels about it, vice versa, whatever. And at that point, I would kind of decide, does this sound like something he's interested in or not? Me, I didn't really have the choice because I was in a Catholic school. They would, but my point is it was kind of weird to have religion as a dedicated class.
Oh, it's
Do they have that in like a non-religious school in the States, in like public schools?
No, because I went to public school after that, and religion was not something unless you like signed up for it.
yeah, it's the separation of church and state, you know.
Right.
But they
So
do
when I
have
was in-
Christian-based churches and Catholic-based churches and shit like
When
that.
I was in private school, though, so you had your like math class, your English class, your history class, and now all of a sudden we're talking about religion. We have a whole book on religion aside from the Bible, which is totally fine, you know, for people who believe in that. But I feel like as a child, like it's kind of very pushy.
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I liked Baby Geniuses, movie Baby Geniuses, right? And I watched it as an adult, and I was like, "Oh, this is maybe the worst movie I've ever fucking seen in my life." But like, if I had like dedicated my life as a child to Baby Geniuses and was like, "I'm gonna live my life as this is my philosophy," I think that your perception's a bit screwy, you know.
Yeah.
Like you guys have a conscious thought to be like, do I want to watch Baby Geniuses or do I want to, learn about this thing instead, right?
Yeah.
Although I went to the Vatican this year, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty snazzy. Like it's
got to be
I can
super
see why
interesting.
it's cool. Yeah, I was like, I get why people are like interested in this stuff and why they like I didn't go specifically to the Vatican on a trip. I just went to the Vatican while I was in Italy, but I get why people get pulled in a little bit, at least by like the aesthetics.
Oh yeah, dude. They're like, look at all this. God, Jesus made this, dude.
Yeah.
And if
so
you don't
like
believe
that
in this
being
shit,
said, though,
what's the alternative? You're gonna get your butthole taken for eternity in hell, and you're gonna burn for eternity. Hey, well, what? I've been turned to ash, right? No, because your skin doesn't melt or like go to ash in hell. It just hurts forever, and there's biting and gnashing of teeth, and that's all you're gonna feel for fucking all of eternity. So what you got to do is come with us, and we're gonna go to South America. But when we discover it, and we're just gonna fucking wipe everyone out, fucking everywhere, and we're gonna claim it. We're gonna enslave the fucking people, and we're gonna tell them this is what they have to believe, and because that's what Jesus wants us to do, right?
That's basically genocide.
Well, that align. Oh, that's what our country is founded on. That's what North America, South America. It's founded on genocide.
Here's my question. Religion is almost adjacent to cult.
Well, yeah, they're religious-based organizations. Right?
Exactly. So that being said, it all comes down to what the believers believe.
Yeah,
I'm going out. Sense. I'm going out with the Heaven's Gate. I'm taking.
I'm not gonna lie. I will say that
you get a sweet little treat. It's painless.
Go out with some sick ass sneakers on.
People might think. Yeah, but and people think people might think whatever. I already got people that think I'm a fucking dumbass.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. Fuck them.
Yeah. Who would you go out with if you had to? You didn't say your answer.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like I was kind of a toss up with the same ones. Like one, you're going out with a fight because it's something you believe in, and that kind of resonates with me because if you believe in something, then you're going to go balls to the wall with it, right?
Yeah, but according to the conspiracies, some of the conspiracies that are out there, they were just defending themselves and got fucking
and not
on.
Everybody in there was like, we want to, like a lot of people left, like a lot of the kids got taken out. There were people that left as hostages, right? So it was a bit of a hostage situation as well. Jonestown as well, where it wasn't like everybody being like, we're going to stand up for this. It was like some people being like, yeah, we believe in this. And then a lot of people being like, guess we're stuck here,
So that makes me wonder though, like how many of those people were actually true believers compared to people who were on the fence. You know what I
If
mean?
you're getting that deep into it, I think you're pretty much convinced. But
Yeah.
I think the main thing is like
I
I'm not too
agree.
worried about what happens to me after I'm dead. I'm not going to be too concerned. I'd rather
Right.
a little easy time.
Yeah. So that's where I had the toss up is, you're fighting for something you believe in, or you going out peaceful as fuck fighting for what you believe in with some nice ass sneakers on. That sounds dope.
What about
That
you,
don't sound
Taylor?
that bad.
Who do you go out
Heaven's
with?
Gate, I think. Well, yeah,
Heaven's Gate.
Generally all around. The only negative with that is not the only negative. Like fucking killing yourself's a bit of a negative, but the only real like negative is people are gonna think you're a little wacky, but like, whatever. It's I don't know. I'm not concerned about people thinking
exactly
I'm weird
after you're gone. Like,
yeah, who cares?
Who cares? What are you gonna do about it, or what are they gonna do about it? Nothing.
Yeah, it's like anybody that thinks you're a wacko is gonna be dead one day eventually. Like too, and
yeah,
they might die on a weird hill, like you did. You died on a weird hill or weird heel. I can't even talk anymore. You died. I think I'm stroking out. You died on a weird hill, but maybe they didn't die for anything, so
yeah.
I think that's the best way to go out. The other one, now my runner up would be going out fucking all flamed up in a fucking badass robe, doing
Ritual,
some shit like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, because of the ritual aspect of it. Like,
that's pretty cool.
I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie, seppuku sounds super interesting, just because, it's basically seppuku.
No, seppuku is when you stab yourself with a fucking sword and cut your guts out.
Yeah, that's
cool.
the L shape. Well, and it's
pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Like, basically, they're just saying like, hey, you ain't gonna get killed by no enemies. You know what I mean? Like, that's hardcore.
Could you say that the kamikazes were like a death cult too?
Nah, that was a military thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of different. That's not something you believe in.
That was just a lack of value for human life.
Yeah.
Like
general
100%. 100%.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I'd go out like that if I had to.
But see, what I want to know is, like, why do they all have to end like that? Why is there anything that had like a continuation, or was it all doomsday?
Well, a lot of these people thought like doomsday was coming, and at a certain point, it was like, well, this is what we predict is going to happen now, so let's all kill ourselves. Like, this, like, they're waiting around for so long until something came up. Jonestown was specifically that, like, Jim Jones was trying to get everyone out in the jungle to like escape persecution, right? Because there was a lot of like allegations about abuse in the church, and then once somebody came to like investigate, he was like, all right, fuck this, we're gonna do this so they can't get in our way or do anything. It wasn't like a doomsday thing specifically. They thought there was like a doomsday plot about a nuclear holocaust destroying the whole world, and Guyana was going to be where they could survive. Like, it was a good place for surviving nuclear fallout. But in the end, that was kind of like a convoluted point, because it was just sort of, all right, we're going to end it now so nobody else can.
Yeah.
Who was the serial killer that thought he was going to start a race war?
Manson.
I forgot. Oh, that was it,
Manson?
Yeah, Helter Skelter. Yeah.
All right. So let me know if I'm right or not. I mean, or if he can even tell me if I'm right or not. But fucking what my boy told me, because I never really studied too much about him. But what my boy was telling me is that Manson never did anything. All he did was have a group. He had a group of people that came up to him, and he was like, yeah, you guys do whatever you want to do. And he was kind of a shitty person. And then fucking they were tripping out on acid, and they said, hey, we need to do all this fucked up shit. And he said, I'm not going to tell you whether you should or what you shouldn't do, but do what you feel you should do.
I mean, that's what he kind of said about it. There's like so many books in that case.
Thing.
There's so many books in that case, and it's like kind of, I think, agreed upon that he sort of sent people to go do these crimes to start this race war. But like the Beatles were telling him to start a race war through the song Helter Skelter. but it's like that. The whole Manson thing is like a cult, and his crime is that he didn't really do anything personally firsthand, but it was all like basically a lunatic sort of directing people to do some stuff,
Right.
But it's very muddled and weird, and there's a lot of weird. The Manson family side of it is all
Have you?
different.
Are you a fan of Tarantino films?
Yeah.
So have
I
you
haven't
seen
seen the one though.
You haven't?
You know which one I'm talking about? Once Upon a Time in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah, that new one. No, I haven't.
Oh man,
it seems interesting. I like alternative history kind of stuff, but yeah,
I thought it was
I've heard
actually
good things,
very good.
Yeah, I've
Very
heard it's neat.
I went into it completely blind and didn't
Yeah.
know what was gonna happen, so
Yeah.
I was dreading the fucking the ending of that movie. Like when I saw what it was building up to, I'm like, oh, this is what this is about. This is fucked up. And then it was, it had a Tarantino ass ending where it's like everything is settled in violent fashion in like 10 minutes, and you just walk
That was
out.
a Tarantino film, wasn't
that
it?
was awesome. Yeah, that was Tarantino.
Yeah.
Like it was like Django Unchained type ending. Like remember when Django just goes in, fucking kills everybody, and then it's just like, yeah,
Those are
and
the
then just
best
walks
endings.
away. Yeah,
The best endings.
even Pulp Fiction had an abrupt, fucking violent ending. Like I like those kind of flicks, man. Those are some good flicks.
I'm a big fan of Tarantino films. I do
good.
enjoy them. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, it's funny, like Kevin Smith films, and I always compare them because they have a lot of dialogue, that is interesting. But Kevin Smith dialogue almost seems pretentious and dorky now compared to like a Tarantino flick. I feel like Tarantino's more timeless, and I'm someone who loves Clerks. I saw Clerks, when I was a kid. Clerks 2 was okay. I saw it in theaters.
They do
and
have
Clerks
that
3,
same vibe. They do have that same vibe, whether it be, two different genres of film.
Yeah,
They do have that same centralized vibe.
Yeah. But like Kevin Smith has hit and miss a lot too with his track record. Like you look at that new Jay and Silent Bob movie, I couldn't tolerate it. I couldn't watch it all. I had to turn it off. I just felt it wasn't Jay and Silent Bob. It's fucking it reminds me of like Godfather 3, like when Francis Ford Coppola like had to put his daughter in the main fucking role. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, come on.
I feel that.
Like
I feel
your kid.
That's a good comparison.
That's great that your kid is acting and doing shit, but let her find her own way in Hollywood if she's gonna do it. You don't gotta shove her down your dedicated fucking. You don't shove her down your dedicated fans' fucking throats. But the way that they put her in Clerks 3 was a tasteful way. Clerks 3, I feel like I feel like he knew all the shit he fucked up on, and like said, okay, I'm gonna actually make the movie that the fans want to see. And Tusk is a great movie too. Tusk is
good too. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
It's great. It's really wild.
Where can I watch that?
I don't know. Fuck. I don't know if it's streaming. I'll look it up for you later. But Tusk is like Human Centipede, but instead of turning into a centipede, the guy gets turned into a walrus.
Yeah, it's like a heavy dark comedy.
It's
Human
so
Centipede
good.
was so hard for me. Like once I got to the scene, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I imagine you guys have.
Oh yeah.
The scene where he is showing the slideshow of what he's going to do to these people. Once I saw that and I caught on to what's going on, I was like, I'm out.
I just thought it was so funny. Look, my favorite part is when the guy's yelling in Japanese, "I have to shit." and I'm just like, this is so outlandish. Like at this point, like it kind of like made me not feel like I was that is the scariest part, the part that you mentioned. But like as the movie continues to go on, it almost goes down that route of like dark humor, and then you definitely, the first watch of that, you got to like take a shower after you see that shit.
See, I will say this. I was able to sit through the South Park version very easily.
Yeah, you know what movie makes me feel weird like that too is Gummo. Like that's a fucking weird fucking flick, man.
I haven't seen that one either, but I know it's a very weird one. That's the one where the kids dressed up like a bunny or whatever.
Dude, all right, you're up in like bumfuck Idaho. You got to watch this flick and then tell me how much it is like, certain areas around you. Not saying your city's like this, but
Yeah.
it captures the weirdest shit that happens in small towns in the Midwest. It takes place in a city called
Well,
Xenia,
not in the
Ohio.
Midwest, but
Xenia. Well, you're as close as it gets to
I'm
Midwest.
in. Well, compared to the three of us, maybe. I mean,
dude, you
Taylor, you might be closer.
You're all right. So
West Coast. I'm
Okay.
2 hours out of Seattle.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess I'm the closest to the Midwest then. But I'm like very far from the Midwest.
Damn. That's crazy, man. Fuck. How do you move, Taylor? Like, how do you move fucking across the border? Because isn't it hard as fuck to like do
Getting
Canada?
into Canada?
Or
From what I hear, I used to go to the States a lot, and getting back is always harder than going to the States. But in terms of immigration, yeah, I think it's just like there's negatives, but there's a lot of positives for a lot of people, and from what I understand, it's a lot of a process. You kind of got. I think that if you're like valued as an employee or can make a case for yourself as like being good for the economy, it's the best way to go, from what I understand. You know, but even like getting with marriage or like a bunch of different things, it's harder to come here than it is to go to the States from a different country, from what I understand.
So I have heard that you can't go into Canada if you have a DUI.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I know so many people who have a DUI, and like it's a really minor thing, and you have to go to like this whole class and program, and you get to wait 10 years and then pay a bunch of money to a lawyer to get your name cleared. Like that's a huge process. Any kind of felony or any kind of like criminal record is an issue. With DUI specifically is extremely strict.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not going to Canada.
Yeah, I'm going though because they don't care that I shit myself.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just won't tell them.
No, driving under incontinence, bro.
Fuck you. That's not driving under the DUI. That's a DUI. Fuck you.
That's what it stands for. Driving under incontinence. You pooped your pants twice. That's more than once, bro.
Shit my pants twice. I've done it more than that too, but 2 times in the car. Yeah.
Bro, see, if you've done it more than twice, that's a problem, man.
I shit
love
myself
you, but that's
one
a problem.
time. One time I got to work after a night of heavy drinking, and I worked in a kitchen, right, at a Whole Foods restaurant. And I pull up and I get out, and I used to smoke cigarettes, so I light up my cigarette to go in and work, because my wife worked there too. So she goes and starts her shift. I'm like, I'm a smoke, I'll be in there. So I'm having a smoke.
And it lit up your poop at the same time.
This was when I learned never trust a fart after a night of heavy drinking. Like, I farted and shit myself right there, soiled myself in the parking lot in my Whole Foods outfit.
Soiled himself, he says.
So I fucking called up my manager and I said, hey, look, I gotta let you. They call them shifties because they're shift managers. I'm like, hey, shifty. I was like, I can't come in today. I just pulled up and I had an accident outside. And she goes, what, car accident? What's going on? Like, I can't cover for you.
God.
And I'm like, no, I had a very bad accident. I can't serve food, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not feeling good. And she goes, look, you're outside. Like, why don't you just come in and work? And I'm like, look, I can't serve food to people. I shit myself.
I'm dripping.
I just shit myself outside. I farted and thought it was a fucking fart, and it was shit. And she tells me, well, there's a she says there's a Nordstrom across the street, or there's a Macy's across the street.
Oh my God.
And I said, what the fuck? So I went across the street, bird bathed in the Macy's bathroom, threw my underwear away, bought a fucking pair of Dickies, went back to work, and I didn't feel 100% clean. And everybody that bought a $15 chicken that day, because I mean, you go to Safeway, you go to Kroger, you could find a chicken. You go to Costco, you can find a chicken for $5. Everybody that bought the same chicken that you could get at any of those other stores, and they spent $15 to $20 on it, I want to let you know, the man that served it to you had a soiled butthole. So that's what you're paying extra for at Whole Foods.
Yo, check out how easy it is. Watch this. Ready?
Are you shitting
I'm gonna
yourself?
show you. No, I'll show you how easy it is to just go to the bathroom, bro. Ready?
Wait, are you going to the bathroom? His asshole's hanging out, bro. Come on. This is Patreon exclusive now. That's fucked up.
So I've got, not to like cut things short, I got like 20 minutes left here before I gotta get another call. So
oh, absolutely.
Once he's back, let's get to this other question here.
Yeah,
not
we'll
to derail anything, but
no, it's totally cool, man. Yeah, we'll get through the final topic. Fucking yeah, dude. That's fucking crazy though. I think the Heaven's Gate's the no-brainer though on that one. It's like
it's the easy. I mean, obviously being there, I'm sure it would be a bit different, but it seems like the comfiest choice.
Didn't they all have shaved heads too?
Yeah, they're like the same haircut.
It's like, what do they think? Like hair was gonna keep them from making it to the fucking?
They were trying to like have no attachment to like the human world or like humankind, so they didn't want to be like have individual like styles or they wanted to be like have no emotions and be as like alien as possible, you know, just like not be concerned with earthly shit. Their diet was based on that, like everything was kind of based on like just like, you know, getting through. If you look at the pictures of the mansion, it's got like lawn chairs inside, like they didn't decorate or anything. It's not like they were just trying to be as simple and efficient. It's an efficiency thing more than anything else, you know.
What was the there was another cult around that time, and I think it's a bit older, from Southern California that was very similar to it, with as far as like the way that they looked and shit. It was ran by a dude that originally was it was based on like AA or something, like Alcoholics Anonymous. You ever heard of that one?
I don't think so. Cyanon?
Yeah, Cyanon.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
Oh yeah, their story is pretty cool too. Yeah, they had like this fucking house, and they were. I think some of the people that left there went to fucking join the Manson family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could be incorrect, but yeah, I don't know what they did. I think they like.
I gotta look into them.
I don't know when they ended.
There's some. You can go endlessly with the amount of cults and offsets of cults and little like. You know, that's how when I got into this, I was like, people have been doing this kind of shit for years before me, but I was like, there's so much out there undiscovered and people haven't looked into that. Like Om Shinrikyo, there was nothing from them in like the market, I guess, of collectors, or very little stuff, and I kind of found gateways into that. And you know, whenever I find like one of these weird obscure ones, I always try and deep dive and find a couple of things at least for the site.
You ever get any threats from like cult members or like worry about like certain cults? No, nothing like that.
Not really. I don't. You know, I've had the only kind of controversies have just been people being like, oh, you know, I think you should be donating this money to so and so, or I'm offended about this personally for this reason. And like I said, like I just don't argue with people about it. Like you feel how you want about it, it's fine.
You almost don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah. If I was doing, I'm not going to convince them,
extent,
and they're not going to convince me. I'm not like, you know, I'm just trying to. I'm not advertising, I'm not marketing. I'm not trying to show up in anyone's way where they would be upset about it. You know, I'll just keep my head down for the most part.
Yeah. You like how I just did that? That's how you go to the bathroom.
So now that you're back from the shitter, what's your topic this week? And your topic, right. Yeah.
My topic is we're doing hypotheticals this week, so my topic's a little bit out there, but this is a question I've been asking people just out of my own stoned curiosity at work and in daily life and shit. If you had to lose an arm or a leg, what would it be, and right or left? Because a lot of people will say, I've noticed a lot of people will say different things about this. It's kind of a tough one. I'll say mine first.
Me, but yeah, go ahead.
I'll say mine first. If I had to pick one, it would be my left arm. Because I'm right-handed. I've tried writing with my left hand and it looks like garbage. I can't do anything with my left hand, so I might as well get rid of it, because I've had people say, well, you can't play video games with one hand. No, there's people out there that play video games with their feet. You know, you can train yourself to do things with your feet, right?
You're just saying left arm because you play drums and you think you're
You're a
Rick
big Def
Allen.
Leppard fan.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because he lost his left arm and fucking and he could still play.
Yeah, but you can't blast beat with one arm.
Yes, you can play in a good band. This is my. All right, I'm out. This is my joke of the podcast. We're done.
We're done. See, I knew this was going to be kind of a thing because, like, there are people out there who are missing appendages.
Yeah, I already know what the fuck. Mine's so simple. My left leg. I don't use it for shit. The only thing I use my left leg for is when I gotta pull the fucking ingrown toenails out of my big toe.
Well, okay, let's be real though. You don't even use the toilet for shit, apparently.
Fuck you. Fuck you. No, dude. Easily it's my left leg. I can't do an arm because then I can't whack off anymore. I can't play video games. I can't play guitar. I can't fucking.
Wait.
Huh?
You can't. No, you can do all those things.
No, I can't.
You can do all those things
no,
with
I
your
can't.
feet, bro.
I need two hands for all of those things, and I don't want to do that with my feet.
Get the fuck out of here. He's all saying he needs two hands to whack off.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, that's a full task, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking
Why
literally.
are you turning that into a full task?
If you're gonna do something, you gotta go all the way.
Yeah,
This fool out here making love to himself. He ain't whacking off. He's making love to himself over here. He's all, so I was at work a few days ago and someone told me to go fuck myself. And I was like, how do you go fuck yourself? Is that like masturbating and trying to tell yourself to be harder? Like, harder to yourself.
You're ridiculous.
Like, how do you go fuck yourself?
I don't know, but I wouldn't need my feet. So my answer is based on practicality. Like I the amount of people that I've met or seen who are missing a leg and you would never know unless they were to like show you their prosthetic leg. Even people that lose their leg like way up at their hip, right? I feel like the recovery process and the kind of rehabilitation to use the prosthetic leg as opposed to the prosthetic arm is just so much like I feel like I would be inconvenienced so much more not having two arms for so many things as opposed to just like, you know, packing packages or
that's fair.
You know, just like things like that, like cooking, whatever, right? It's just nice to have that. The leg, it's like my only the place it's coming from on it is just it seems like it would be the easiest thing to you know to like you still be able to retain pretty much your full mobility and like there's obviously people have prosthetic arms or even like cybernetic arms and stuff and they're interesting, but that's like a lot of work and you're not going to be at 100%. And there's people that fucking have two legs missing and win the Olympics, you know, like it seems like it would be the in regards to coming back to a life with four limbs, you know, like as you had before, it would be the easiest transition to like get back to like, okay, I'm going to get back to a point where I can walk again.
Here's the other thing, and everyone have asked this question has said a leg.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's right or left, they've said a leg. But let's look at Evil Dead 2.
Okay, for scientific reasons.
He lost an arm to gain a chainsaw.
Shut the fuck up, Logan. Where you go with this?
Yeah,
how dope is that?
How dope she lost a leg and she has a fucking assault rifle for a leg, but it's not practical.
But it doesn't need to be practical.
So you're gonna walk around with the fucking chainsaw on your left hand?
Hey man, Denji did it.
I think the only realistic thing that you're gonna fucking have is a rubber fist on your left fucking hand because you're not gonna get any pleasure from whacking off one-handed.
You want to know what's funny is my choice to replace my left arm or hand, I guess.
Fleshlight.
No, I was like, I just want an arm with a double cup on the end.
It's just a fucking. You can just fill it
Just
up
the
with beer.
double styrofoam cup.
Okay, that's pretty
Just
cool.
the double styrofoam cup, just
I
on
like
one
that.
hand. You know what I mean?
I do like that, but also you could fucking just carry around that all the time now anyway, and only use one arm.
Yeah,
If you could do
yeah,
that.
yeah. You're right. But how cool would it look if you were the cyborg with the
Funny.
lean arm?
It'd be really funny.
Yeah,
You probably
it'd be
get a
dope.
lot of ass
Yeah,
walking
for sure,
around,
for
like
sure.
always ready to, you know.
People will be ready to pour up for you. You know what I mean?
You never
They'll
pay
be like,
for beers again.
yo,
You go to
yeah.
the bar and just plop your fucking shit down
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah. It's like that'd be dope. They're just like ready to go for you. They're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
the dude that has one hand in a double cup for the second hand.
Yeah, in terms of turning it into a gag, you would an arm would be the number one, right? Because you could do some options for like goofy shit, but
like think about it. If you have enough money at that point to turn your missing arm into a gag, you have other attachments too, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you probably got like a chef's knife or a fork or something. You gotta have that kind of shit.
If anybody were to lose a limb for a gag, I know it would be fucking Logan. Like you're that kind of guy.
It don't do anything.
You're like, I don't do anything with this hand anyway. I'm not gonna lie
You're
though.
gonna realize once it's gone, you do a lot more than you thought with that hand.
Yeah, you're right. But let me tell you this. If somebody's ready to replace this with a double styrofoam cup for an arm and fill it for me, I mean, I got a pretty cool life, man.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be intoxicated, but you know,
you're gonna be all fucked up.
Yeah.
At least you can walk straight because you have 2 legs.
Yeah.
See,
you could do that.
See,
too.
I can still play it cool.
You could do ballet.
Yeah, I can do ballet.
A bunch of shit that I wouldn't do. Like that's
Kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. It's a tough decision because I've never been put in those shoes, but I like to think double cup, left
You
arm.
just want the fucking cup. So we're gonna leave. We'll leave the audience on that double cup left arm. We got to wrap up this episode. We're starting to run for time. Thank you so much, Taylor, for making it on the show.
Sure.
I super appreciate it,
brother.
man.
No problem.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm so
love
glad
to have
I
you
got
in the
to chill with
future. And fucking yeah, man. Another episode of the 3Daddy podcast. Make sure to subscribe on the Patreon. Click down in the links below. Shop at Colt Collectibles. Buy the G.G. Allen belt buckle. There's all sorts of cool items on there that you can check out right now.
Poop on it and throw it at somebody because G.G. Allen would approve.
Why not sell it back to me and I'll double the price?
See, there you go, bro. Yeah, you got a G.G. Allen that shit.
All right. Absolute pleasure. Have a great night. 3 Daddies out.